Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for sharing another moment of your time with me today. I appreciate it more than I can say. I am feeling a little bit tired because I wasn't very kind to myself last night. I took a bunch of cannabis oil. Right, hearing my own voice. Took a bunch of cannabis oil and then got hungry and then ate a bunch of things that I wasn't supposed to eat. That's not good for me. And then ended up sleeping only at like 3 a.m. All of the things that I know isn't great for me, I did last night. And waking up this morning feeling really bad, right? Kind of like I'm hungover almost. Still, like I'm hungover almost. I noticed a difference, a shift in the internal voice, where usually if I would fall back on the mountain, right, I would tell myself a story of how bad I am, how much I should be ashamed of myself, how yada 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 story. And today I just kind of accept. I'm trying to be kind to myself, having made mistakes, right? Sure, I might not have been as kind as I could have been to myself by not eating late at night, sleeping at an appropriate hour. But instead of being unkind to myself because I was unkind to myself, I'll be kind to myself having been unkind to myself. Right? I try to think of it almost like a equation where I can either be at a complete loss by being double unkind, unkind to myself for being unkind, and then the unkindness that I did to myself, or at least I can try and bring some balance by being kind to myself. Regardless, I'll be back in a second. I think I left something on the table. Yeah. There we go. I'll be back again. It's nice seeing you, Candace. Hello, Azana. Shannon and Joy Vive. Thank you, friends, for joining me. There's some of you friends here as well whose names I can't see, but I love you just as much. Thank you for sharing your kindness with me as well. That's gonna be our intention for today, kindness, right? And weirdly enough, one of the things that I want to be kind to myself with is just being calm, being okay with not being at the top of my game, if you will. You have had a private party, Melty. I have them too. You're good. Exactly. Exactly. It was a fun experience. I enjoyed myself, even though I knew what I was doing wasn't good for me. I did have a good time. And maybe that's the thing that I'm trying to remind myself of. That's where I'm trying to be kind, is that, and I wrote it in my journal that way as well today, is that even though I can see myself still as capable of participating in old patterns, I can also see myself growing a little bit more compassionate, right? Soft with that version of myself that doesn't have any self control. Realizing that that version of me is slowly but surely going away, right? And is going away not because I am killing it, but because I am perpetuating it less, right? The part of me that's unkind, the part of me that doesn't care, the part of me that doesn't worry about my future, kindness. I'm not killing it, I'm slowly melting it apart of myself. And by showing up for kindness, even though that part of me is showing up for unkindness, I am almost like, I wish I could explain the way I'm seeing it in my mind. Okay. So I'm imagining it like an operator, right? Like sometimes the unkind operator gets control of the helm and will do a bunch of things, eat a bunch of things, usually eat a bunch of things, to the point of excess. And then as soon as that starts to happen, it's almost like that little operator wants to stay in charge. And even though it might not be in charge of my body the next day in perpetuating that loop of consuming, it will still very much be in charge of my brain in telling me a story, right? Being mean in another way. And by taking back the helm, by kind of like taking back responsibility for the way I talk to myself the next day, it's almost like I'm teaching myself how to regain my power faster and faster through kindness. Does that make sense? I hope so. We're learning right now, and that process of learning doesn't ever really stop because we forget just as fast. So we have to be reminded, we have to learn again, learn differently. Mojo, so cool seeing your name, dear friend. Sending you love. Thank you for joining me. Let me see, am I missing anyone? No, no, not just yet. Natalie, it's nice seeing you here too. Private party, I like that, Joy Vive. Yeah, little private party. I have like some LSD left, and it is calling to me. But I have exactly 2 drops left, and I really want to save those 2 drops for a shared experience. I've been trying to get my dad to take LSD, but he's been unwilling, and I'm keeping them with the hope that he's gonna one day be willing. And it's interesting to me again, talking about this kindness thing, how it's not something that bothers me. We talked a little bit yesterday about proving ourselves, and the whole topic of substance use came up. And there's a part of me that wanted to prove myself in believing that the things that I choose to use don't use me, right? And I feel last night, getting called to take some LSD and still choosing not to because I want to share that experience with my dad, knowing that he doesn't want to have that experience with me. It feels like a certain set of kindness, an acceptance, a softness, a hopefulness, maybe. A hope in that kindness. A belief. Sorry for the wind noise. I'm getting sunrighted as well. Uh, Nanshi, I was thinking about you. I was like, for some reason, reading your name before your name was here, even. It's been nice seeing you in stream so actively these days, friend. Good morning and love to all. Melt, I had something similar this week, but around work slash a boss thing. I decided not to follow negative narratives. Doing that means that I slept well last night. Mm. And you deserve that good sleep, Nanshi. You deserve that peace of mind. Sorry, love you. You deserve that kindness from yourself, right? And We were going to transition into kindness for others eventually in this stream, but I feel it goes without saying that it's a lot easier to be kind to other people if you're actually kind to yourself. And being kind to ourselves is not easy, right? Think about reasons you lose kindness for another person. They might do something that pisses you off. They might say something that doesn't resonate with you. They might breathe in a certain way. They might chew loudly, right? Like there's so many things that we can convince ourselves to stop being kind to someone because they do something. And for ourselves, we do a lot of things that are undeserving of kindness, right? To say it in so many words. So it's so hard to be kind to ourselves for that reason. Creating a snowball effect, right? And apparently, this is well documented as well, where if people have a negative narrative, especially around food, it's not exactly related as you mentioned, Nancy, with yours with your boss, but I believe it applies for that as well. That if you have a negative narrative around food, it makes it even harder to be, balanced with that. Hey, Anab, it's nice seeing you, friend. Sending you love. It's nice having you here. Corey saying, on choosing kindness when you're not feeling kind, it comes down to what we choose to do. We can choose to tell ourselves that it's okay and that this too shall pass while breathing slowly. I think that's what I'm trying to do right now, right? Like I'm feeling undeserving of kindness in a weird way. Like my body is tired today, lethargic, and I'm responsible completely, right? And I know this. And that part of me that is responsible for the way my body is feeling right now, instead of being like, "Oh, you piece of shit body, you're gonna get so fat, banana, you're banana scarabody property," it's just being like, I understand, and I love you still. Thank you for being here with me, for carrying me forward nonetheless. And we do that for one another as well, right? We're carrying each other in a mental, metaphysical, conversational, co-creational way. You are facilitating existence by existing. Yesterday's trip coming back as well. Mm. Oh my goodness, my mom's jaw clicks when she eats and it drives me crazy, but I'm kind about it. It's not her fault. You see, Joy Vive. Such a beautiful fractal. I knew there's gonna be some touching on vague fractals that we all have, right? So I'm so happy that I shared that moment with you. But to be kind to others when we're not feeling kind is the best thing to try. And kick ourselves in the butt to be kind to yourself. Yes, treat others with the kindness you would show loved ones. I know might not be the same thing for everyone, but with the kindness you treat pets. I'm watching little Roxy walk up right now. Pippi is knocked out in dreamland. Sleeps like a dead dog. uh, right, and I could, I guess, if I wanted to, having to think about it, scare her awake, right? Frighten her. But I don't think that would be kind. And even though we do that sometimes, I guess, you know, it's. I'm trying to think about why it's so hard for us to see other people with the same level of compassion that we can, like baby animals. Just say, say baby animals, right? I'm thinking about it from the one perspective of apparently baby animals look the way they do to kind of like hack neurocircuitry for you to think it's cute and for you to want to coddle it and keep it alive, right? So how can we see each other as cute more or something, right? Maybe that's the thing. How can we activate that brain circuitry for everything, coddling everything, wanting to keep everything alive the same way we want to keep a baby or a puppy alive, right? Am I tripping out? Maybe. Duck Dad, sending you love. Is it Duck Dad? Yeah, there he is. And Joe Schmo too. Sending you love, dear friends. Nice having you. Good morning, Melton Moore. Singing birds and cool breezes this morning. It's easy to be kind when the universe is so kind in return. The ebb and flow of positivity and gentle influence. Kindness. Nature can be kind, right? Nature can be so brutal as well, though, in the same way that all of us can, I guess, right? And I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm like watching in my mind. I'm trying to solve for problems, and it's going, yeah, kindness sometimes equals conditions, and I'm like, fuck, right? Like thinking about this experience I'm having right now in nature, and I'm like painfully aware of where South Africa is on the curve of the planet, and then how close we are to the like ice caps at the bottom, and where we are in our ellipse around the sun right now. And I'm aware about our refractory index, our magnetic field, like all of the factors. Boom, 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 boom. That had to happen for nature to be as kind as it is right now. And then I'm like, that's beautiful, right? So beautiful. And yet you can be kind just for the sake of it. You might not want to be, you might not feel that way, and yet you can still. That's pretty impressive, right? Like if the Earth was, in the orbit of Mars right now, we wouldn't have the same conditions. We're further away, closer, right? If we didn't have a moon, if we didn't have an atmosphere, if we didn't have as much water as we do, all of that is so kind, right? On the scale of the universe, and on the scale of the universe and in infinity, that has happened. This has happened thousands of times over again, right? That's like the whole trip of that as well. Oh, it was so big. Oh, so big. So big. We have to be kind to ourselves. It's what we ought to do at least, you know, for a few moments in the day. Give ourselves a pat on the back. Just force myself to eat breakfast to be kinder to myself. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much for feeding yourself. But to be kind to others when you aren't feeling the best. I think I've read that one. Again, I agree. It's about what you have in our hearts and how much will we have to act on it. If y'all aren't feeling up to being nice, feel around in there for the lightness that you misplaced. I'm thinking about it again from a perspective of love, right? Like the willingness to be not nice to, for instance, our closest loved ones is a level of safety that we feel with that person. This fly sitting on my forehead is making it so hard for me to be kind. Dude, please. Thank you. Thank you for giving me some space. Kindness. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. our ability to be kind. It's separation, right? It's a condition. We become convinced. We become convinced, and certain conditions need to be met for us to be kind, right? And I'm thinking about it from the roughest perspective, almost like joking perspective, and this might even be triggering to some. But don't talk to me until I've had my coffee, right? The condition of being kind can only be met after I've had my coffee. Thank you very much. Oh, that's a little bit absurd. There need be no stimulus in the outside world for you to express love. This might be weird, but I'm imagining an entity that has almost no input. It has language, right? The ability to express and articulate feeling. And it has the ability to output, right? It can make sounds, move around, manipulate objects. It just cannot perceive that which it manipulates. So, completely void of any stimulus. Can move and participate lovingly, communicate lovingly, make sounds for the sake of love. The way that my mind is processing what I just said is so whack. Way, way whack. And yet, beautiful in a weird way. Aunt B is here too. Mm. So much love to you. It's nice seeing your name. Joe, let me see. Definitely have the cool breeze, Joe. That ice storm makes everything a skating rink. It's kind of beautiful. At least some of that I've seen, right? All the way here in South Africa where it's hot most of the time. Good morning. Need sex. Melty appears to have survived his solo night with no family. I have. I have survived. I made it. Those were, and I got to be kind to myself. I'm getting to be kind to myself right now. It's not always easy, but I'm trying. Working hard at it. Corey, that was pretty wild from I saw on the news. I hope all is well in the Nana farm. Hope so as well too. Thank you. I hope everyone feels kinder towards themselves after today's stream. Thank you, Natalie. It is going to be a process as well. All of these things that we discuss on these streams are, in my mind, conscious evolutions, right? Bringing something into our collective mind, being willing to sit with it. Ask ourselves a simple question: what does it mean to be kind to ourselves and others? What does that mean to us? And then, even, do yourself a favor and notice if there's a difference, right? Some of us, and I believe a lot of you, will be more willing to be kind to others than you are sometimes to yourselves, right? So capable of being so encouraging and loving, uplifting, and then so hard, brutal, you know, mean even to ourselves sometimes. And this is, me 100% projecting. what 100%, right? But I know that some of you friends that are going to be like, yeah, because I believe that's all of us, honestly. Again, I'm just trying to speak through conscious evolution, right? This is all of us trying to evolve at the same time, trying to get better at feeling instead of just being preoccupied with feeling better. And it makes you feel better in both ways to be kind. You get better at feeling and you feel better. Double whammy when you're kind to yourself. Let me see what I'm missing. Joe, yeah. Just had to spend 20 minutes on the morning cleaning on an inch of ice off of my car. Everything is mostly cleaned up, just slippery on the grass. Stay safe. Stay strong, Corey. Sending you love, dude. Oh goodness, Sam, it's going good. I'm not working out every day, but I'm chugging along. I'm happy that you're working out some days, Joy Vive. Have you considered those walks? Every single time now I look at the sky, I think, I hope Joy Vive is also looking at the sky. Are you looking at the sky, Joy Vive? It helps to notice how big things are. Like, you see that? That's everything. Everything that ever was and ever will be in a single shot. The universe, right? Oh my. Oh, just infinity? Oh, it keeps going? And then it keeps going more. Okay, I'm tripping myself out right now. I'm gonna stop the zooming out, come back into the body. Thank you. Be the world you want to experience. I'm just watching fractals. Like things appearing. Like the last one I saw was muscle cells. Well, it looked like muscle cells. Looked like cells. And then the cells had like little fibers that were like accentuated or expanded. And then you would get closer to the expanded cell. And then there would be like small little cell expanded on. I don't know. Fractals. Yeah. Experiencing the infinity. Healing. Expansive consciousness. Spiraling larger instead of spiraling into ourselves, convincing ourselves of our nothingness instead of convincing ourselves of the all. Kindness within the all. I feel in a weird way kindness is now like to depict it in like a little story slash animated way. There's two little characters. One of them is like blue little blob. One of them is red little blob. And this little blue little blob is love, and red little blob is kindness. And blue little blob was usually the one that was like, and now kindness is like encroaching, so holding on to it. It's like you have to be kind if you're going to love. I'm watching how my mind is trying to make more and more attachments to what love means to me. One, love is the ability for multiplicity and unity to exist at the same time. Meow meow meow. Infinity. Love is not necessarily, right, because of unity and multiplicity, always going to be nice, right? Happy go lucky, fantastic. Love is going to show you how much you can endure, right? Love is the fundamental force that needs to be for your awareness to be willing to arise, right? So you as awareness had to love this version of self so much that you decided to be it, to love yourself for a lifetime, right? And then love is kind. Love is true, of course, as well, right? Needs to be true again for anything to be at all. And I feel, unfortunately, the word love has become so attached to the romantic, right? a little bit sad. I believe there are in Greek, right? Like, hey Google, can you give me all of the Greek words for love? I think it's Greek. Let me
In
see.
Greek, you would say agape.
Agape. I believe there are a bunch of different words. Let me see. Yeah, there is. So, eros is romantic or passionate love, right? Which is pretty much never what I'm talking about. Philia is affectionate or friendly love. That one I talk about a lot. Philia. I have philia. I philia you. I philia you so much. I can philia you in my heart right now. Storge, unconditional or familial love. I'm probably like butchering these pronunciations as well, so excuse me. Then agape is selfless or universal love. I agape a lot as well. Ludus is playful or flirtatious love. I ludus definitely sometimes. Pragma is committed, long-lasting love. Yeah. Pragma is my bread and butter. Like I commit with pragma to the maximum. Oh goodness, pragma. So much pragma. I love. I feel like I'm gaining like past insight right now. And then phila philatia, philautia probably self love. Philautia is probably one that we talk about a lot. So we talk about almost all of them a lot, except for eros, right? Romantic and passionate love. And we do occasionally, very seldomly. It's more like a thing that we tiptoe around, right? And it's not that I'm scared of it. It just, unfortunately, I'm a strong believer in the things we say become fractals in our minds, right? And you can't talk about passionate love without having fractals of that in your mind, right? So I feel I take a certain level of responsibility and I have to be mindful. But yeah, different forms of love. And the point I'm trying to make is how we have, because of our language, because of the use of the English language specifically, and only one word for love, right? At least the way we understand it. The word has become tainted by other things. Today is going to be a kindness challenge and not let frustrations get the best of me. I have so much work that needed to be done today, and the kid might not get to go to grandma's. I don't sit well. I don't sit still well. I hope I don't okay. I don't sit still well when deadlines are closing in, and when it's my business. No one will do the work but me. Duckling only wants wife when she's sick, but it stresses everyone out so much. Sending you love. Sending you so much love as a duck dad. Thank you for being so aware. Thank you for making that manifestation, claim, intention clear for what you want for your day. I can see that for you too. Man, I think I missed a lot of them. Okay, I'm back. But Fruit Cup had a fever last night and this morning. She woke up puking, so I took her to the hospital. And they said that she's probably just got a viral infection that should pass. Oh, I'm sure she's gonna be okay. I'm like happy that she's gonna be okay, but I'm sorry that she has to go through this process of suffering, before she's going to be. Her fever seems to have broken, fantastic, unless it's just meds doing their thing. But she's her happy, explorative self still, so I'm not too worried. Thank you for letting us know that she's okay. Sending you love and strength, while you have to deal with that as well. Sam's good, working out every day. I'm checking along. Love again to you. Joy Vive. Kari, sorry to hear that. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love as well, Shan. The word kind, meaning alike, kindness, is a reference to the similarity to the surrounding frequency. To be kind is to be neutral as within the balance of your intentions. Is that what I'm feeling right now? Balance within my surroundings. To feel alike. I could just sit in silence for hours sometimes. It's curious to watch how much happens inside when you do that. I've been trying to embrace being bored more, doing things without extra layers of stimuli. When I cook, I try to just cook these days without having a podcast on at the same time. Going to the bathroom without my phone, that one has been weird. That one has been weird. One of the hardest ones, interestingly enough. And just like being like, yeah, being a human is weird, huh? Start talking to myself. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm not having this conversation with you right now. It's like, oh, bro, I'm bored. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed? Shh, shh, shh. Stop thinking. Stop it. It's okay to be bored. Okay, let me get back to it. Dropped Emma off at the school at 6:45 for the floriculture competition, and I'm excited to feed the critters and take care of things. So much love to you on B. Good luck with your duties. Sending you strength for all of them. Thank you for being a mom, taking Emma to school as well. Just want you all to know that whatever I see any of you, it makes my heart lighter and brighter. Love you all. Love you, Corey. Thank you for saying something so beautiful. When deadlines, I think I've heard that one. I have been looking at the sky. We've been having glorious sunsets. Okay. I'm seeing sunsets and like clouds washing over the horizon. I'm happy to hear that, Joy Vive. Joel, I see your little symbol. Sending you love too, dude. It's nice having you. Mm. Louise, the benzo years. Benzodiazepines? The kindness is the excuse. On the topic of kindness, I feel compelled to share a quote from Jordan Peterson that lodged itself in my brain years ago. He said, kindness is the excuse that social justice warriors use when they want to exercise control over what other people think and say. That sounds very much like something Jordan Peterson would say, right? Where I'd be like, hey, Jordan Peterson, have you considered being more kind to people? Are you a crazy? Kindness is what is social justice. I'm like, please, Jordan, please, dude. I know we're tripping out, all of us collectively. We're going a little bit hard, right? We were like fear mongering, beating people to death that were different to us, and now we're like trying to police what people are supposed to say. I know it's like a little bit of a, but as a result of all of this bullshit, we're gonna find ourselves somewhere in the middle, balanced within these two infinities again, dude. Jordan, please, Jordan. I weird. So weird that you have to bring that specifically. I had this thought of like, what would if me and Jordan Peterson had to have a conversation with one another? Like, how would that actually look like? What would we have a conversation about? It would be an interesting conversation. But then the other side of me is like, why? 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 I guess to expand, to learn, to consciously evolve, right? That is what we're trying to do after all. I'm just. The thing I'm tripping out about specifically is how people can become stuck in themselves, or at least in the version of themselves that they think they are. And I'm trying to pay attention to this from the perspective of not doing that to myself, right? Like, am I gonna become melt more and more, right? And then I have to remind myself that melting is literally taking this thing that I think I am, turning it into its constituent parts, and then being willing to reassemble myself, keeping the things that I know are kind, right? And then doing that daily, over and over again, being like, oh, if I do these things, I feel this way. If I say these things, I feel that way. If I consider these questions, it brings up these answers. And then that we're doing that, right, over and over and over again, in a way that I don't think we've ever like I have never, learned in this way, had to learn this much this quickly. Like I'm in a weird space these days, where time has taken on this ethereal property, right? The trip of it not existing. And yet, every single day feeling like an eternity with months going by in instances. Like I write in my journal today, 25 2 23, and I'm like, wait a second, the second month is almost over? What? And yet, these moments, they can be so full. The amount of stuff we forget, all right? I guess that's why we're trying to remind ourselves daily now. Daily reminders are necessary when we're so prone to forget. So why do you forget? Body priest, you know what's good for you. Please, please be kind. It is from when he first gained fame by refusing to use one of his students' correct pronouns. Yeah, that like it became a simulacrum of himself. Crayon, I seeth you. Love you, friends. Nice having you here right now, dude. Oh, it's been a while. How have you been? The professor was getting visibly frustrated with Peterson, and just said, "Well, can't you just use the correct pronouns to be kind?" And then he gave that answer. Kindness, yeah, I get you. Cause you wanted to say good morning to all of us. Morning, Joe. Thank you for that. I didn't know. I had to get up at 3:30 this morning until I was getting off work yesterday evening. Ooh, yeah. I hate when that happens. Oh goodness. Like I'm okay with having to do hard things, but I really like doing hard things, knowing about it, so I can prepare adequately. If it's like short notice, it hurts me even more. Thank you for trying to hold on to that kindness, Bethany on B. And that's what Peterson said. That I remember writing it down and thinking, this dude is this dude is a Okay, I'm happy to see that other side of the fractal as well right now, Loizana. Like I didn't think you were going there. I thought there was a part of you that wrote it down and it stuck with you because you resonated with it. Griffin, I would be so much fatter if Beaver was nearby, but guess what? I've got a Shalinsky 30 minutes away. Magic Beaver? That resonates. I'm tripping out. Shalinsky is my jam. Turkey original with extra letters. Maybe it made a pilgrimage to Sandwich Mecca today. I'm guessing you're talking about food. When they became super famous and leveraged the situation into, then he became super famous and leveraged the situation into an entire career. I'm a little extra salty about him right now because he's speaking in my town soon, in our largest venue, and it's sold out. Yeah. Again, Loizana, and this is the way that I'm trying to see it, right? Instead of seeing him as an agent of destruction, I'm seeing him as someone who is trying to bring balance in his own way, right? So that unwillingness, that hardness, that fighting spirit, that disciplined side of the masculine as a simulacrum, as something that's being displayed to us. Like he's like wearing these suits right these days, right? Like blue and red, I believe, to show himself as somewhere in the middle. That is what he's trying to do. And maybe, maybe, right? Potentially, probably, I would actually say. I would even go as far as saying definitely. There will be some people gaining something from going to one of his seminars. You know, even if they gain an understanding of what other people think like, even if they gain an understanding of the person sitting next to them, how they're responding, right? Like we are actively, as a society, as a human species, in a weird uprage, right? Because our algorithms realize that rage also begets engagement. If you're angry about something and you're like really like perpetuating it in your mind, you're more likely to go back and spend more time perpetuating that rage, trying to reaffirm why you're angry, right? The antidote for that rage is kindness, after all. But it's hard, right? And as you said, he leveraged that situation, that outrage, into a whole career. And again, seeing him as myself, I don't hate him. I'm happy that he gets to live a life and have the impact that he has. He's had an impact on my life, even, right? Some of the things that he shares does have wisdom. I guess that's always the case. It's just as soon as we start creating, what's the word I'm looking for? Deifications, doctrine, dogma around things. That is a problem. That we're missing the point. Love is true. Love is Anna. Love is true. Let's see that at least. So many young people think he's a hero and their biggest role model, and I really try to find kindness in their heart for him. Not going so well. I hope at least in part what I said helped. He's us still. Could always call him. Please. Taking my language. Pay for the plane ticket and I'll dress up in a giant Bill costume and make him chase me. I immediately imagine golden sunbeams blasting from the lowest. Most young people find them. Okay, Bethany. Now I have Old Greg in my mind, showing him downstairs mix Hogwarts Moon. So much of this is going over my head right now. Duck Dad, absolutely. I had to talk to my 15-year-old son about Andrew Tate recently. Unfortunately, he thinks he's a goof, but he says everyone talks about him. Yeah, because he's what he's doing is making him successful, and that is people's metric these days. Oh, does he have cars? Does he have houses? Does he have exposure? Do people know his name? Must mean something to the human brain, right? Outrage. Outrage slash polarization, right? There's the side of it of humanity that sees it as a goof, sees it as stupidity, like shallow, toxic masculinity. I hate to use that word. I really do. But talking about women like they're objects is the epitome of toxic masculinity in my mind. It's it's such a separation, from what we've been working towards as a species for so long, right? And I honestly do believe that's why it's happening. That everything we're seeing, the war in Ukraine, the stuff happening in Iran, Andrew Tate, like the finance industry, our internet, etc., 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 are but simulacrums, fractions, fractals of ourself that arise, and I feel arise very strongly right now as a fight, right? Like the fever is increasing, the heat, the outrage, the amount of human emotion is increasing as like a fighting to this virus that is the last of the patriarchy, to say it in those words as well, right? It is that warmongering, I'll fight you, I sleep with a lot of women, I have 11 cars, my house is bigger than yours, look how cool my life is, your life must suck, give me your 50 daras, maybe your life will suck less, type of brain damage that we're trying to get rid of, right? That we've been susceptible. Unfortunately, men are sometimes a little bit stupid, and we are susceptible to other strong figures, right? Even if their strength is misdirected, their strength can, like, look at Hitler. Their strength can still be an inspiration. So we're like, hey, we have information these days. Treating people this way without kindness, fucks things up for everyone involved. Maybe we should stop, right? We've known this for a long time. We kept forgetting, but now we have the means to be reminded. Wake up. Wake up, humanity. It is okay that you might have been asleep, but it is time to remember your divinity. That we are one, right? I wish I could just ask every single person in the world, as a statistic, to see it growing. How many people believe we are one? That we are one. One planet, surely. One species, absolutely. But I don't know if we've reached the level of kindness to consider ourselves one entity, one experiencer. And I believe it's probably because we're still unwilling to be that kind to ourselves. But that's personal bias, personal fractals right now. The art of living when you just walk, and when you do the dishes. Sounds so simple, but I'm with you, Melty. It's a damn near impossible. It's very hard, But instead of thinking of it as this is not possible, I think of it as like, oh, this is gonna be hard, and I'm gonna do it because it's hard, right? Going to the bathroom without my toilet, that's gonna be hard, and I'm gonna do it because it is hard, right? I know I'm gonna be uncomfortable, and I'm gonna be bored, and that's why I'm doing it. And then growing that skill, that ability, right? Seeing it as I'm doing reps of bored. I'm like, oh yeah, more comfortable with myself and my own thoughts. Steak and eggs for a late breakfast today. That sounds amazing. I had some chicken breast that I like baked. Is it baked? Pan fried? No, not fried. Pan sizzled? Pan steaked? It was good as well. It sounds amazing. Are there any taters with that, Joe? Some food topics. I'm gonna skip way on them. The world is in a peaceful and healthy place this season. I am blessed to be surrounded by healthy loved ones. So blessed. Thank you for echoing that truth, Father Joe. I see Gabby Goose here too. I have a thought provoking contribution that I could share, but I must leave for work. So I'll leave you in suspense, wondering what it was. Gob. Even though I think you are evil now, and I can't be kind to evil people. I send you love. Send you so much love, Gab. Gab. Melt, similar to what happened to my friend, to you. A friend left on a trip without saying goodbye. We live on the same property. I know I wouldn't do that. It felt unkind, right, Nancy? It does feel unkind. And then we tell ourselves a story about it, right? That is the whole thing that I was talking about yesterday. We feel your friend, for example, right now, leaving without greeting you or telling you, what's up. That feels unkind, right? Like it's proof. It's proof that they're unkind, even, right? Can you believe? I would never. And I'm scared. And I'm like, are you gonna keep going on like this forever, right? That's like one of the best questions to ask that ego self. When it starts, you just sit down with him and be like, okay, okay. I completely, or maybe you can like call it monkey self. Like, okay, I acknowledge. I acknowledge you're hurt, right? You're angry. This person was so unkind to you. How dare they, right? I acknowledge this. But are you going to be angry forever? Right? Are you going to be angry till the day you die? No? Okay, 50 years? 10 years? A whole year? No, 6 months? And then as you keep doing that, you realize you actually don't want to be angry at all. Not even for a second, really. And just spending some time kind of like reasoning with yourself in that way, compartmentalizing a little bit helps me. I don't know if it's healthy, right? Don't listen to me. After all, I don't know anything, but that's what I do sometimes. I'm like, hey, oh, yeah, you're angry. Sure, you want to stay angry? You want to stay angry? No. Then choose not to be. Choose to see that they were probably just in their own fractal, busy thinking about things, right? Didn't come up to them. Peach sends her love to her too. We've missed her so much. Thank you, Corey. Love back to her. I like that guy Gab. He's so freaking cool. Yeah, send more love to Gab. More. I see a clover. Arising. Gab is getting so rocky right now. Mike, I'm going to call Zelensky from now on, thanks to Mel. You see, like this is what I have to put up with. I have to pretend like I know how to read, and then when I fail sometimes, I get shot through the heart. You give love a bad name. Okay. Love you. Yeah, call it that. Call it that. You know, it's our thing now, forever. I just don't get the hype about Shalansky's around here at the Jimmy John's and Subway. I don't even know what that is. Shalotsky's. I don't know. I don't know what those words mean. Right? It's I could gibberish words. Scabbity boops. I there could be scabbity boops right there, and I would still be just as clueless. I'm guessing it's a food item. Subway, Jimmy John's. Subway, I think, is a food place, but everybody knows they're both terrible. Yeah, I'm like, I'm lost. Where am I right now? Earth? Prove it. Prove to me I'm on Earth. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh no, please stop. Thank you. My mind was like tripping me out about simulation theory for a second there. It was like, oh yeah. You want to trip out? You want to get tripped out? No, please. I'm okay, thank you. Thanks for weighing in on this, Mel. Thank you for allowing me to. Lavazana. Always. Always welcome. Do do. Griff, I wasn't the phone call. I missed it. I have to rewind. No. No. I'm gonna delete this. I keep all of the live streams live, but this specific one I'm gonna delete because I mispronounced whatever that sauce was supposed to be called or something. Is it a sauce? Is this what I'm calling it Shkobaski Skowapski. Poop. Yes. Yes, do it. Do it, dude. I dare it be. One experience from billions of different views. Exactly. Exactly. Realize that your experience is just as valuable, right? Nobody can tell you anything that's going to make your experience more valuable than it already is. You just have to remember. And we're trying to remind each other. I personally think that when men are demoralized in society, they seek a powerful leader to follow as a surrogate for their own damaged or underdeveloped masculinity. They need sympathy, not judgment. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I felt, I don't know if I was coming off as judgmental. I was coming from a deep place of. So, so I'm saying sympathy in hindsight, but unfortunately, there was a little bit of pity in it for me as well. A little bit of pity, right? Just a little bit. Mostly sympathy, mostly compassion, but some pity. I pity the fool. That kind of pity, like comical pity. Like, come on off it, man. Psst, psst, you believe that shit? You believe you're nothing? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Be kind to yourself. Please. Nobody else is going to be as kind to you as you get to be to yourself, after all. Sam, when my best friend's dad was dying in the hospital, we were kids. We said, guys, I'm already dying and this food sucks here. Get me some schlabbity bobbadies and smuggle them in here. Yeah, that's definitely sauce. Must be, right? I mean, I saw the picture you posted on Discord, dude. You bear a striking resemblance to one of my cousins. Made me laugh and appreciate how you not only talk like fam, but you look like fam too. I love that, Joe. Seeing the synchronicity, the fractal of yourself in the world, right? When my aunt had her aneurysm, her closest friend came to the waiting room with a bottle of rye. That's a drink, right? Saying goodbye to the ones we love the most is the hardest thing to do. Absolutely. Kindness. Honor them with time here. Yes, Joe. Thank you for that. Joe, I must see the picture and thank you kindly for the fam compliment. I'm calling it Slavaski Scoopity Poop. It's okay, Mel. I don't know what it is either. Thank you, Shannon. I feel. Yeah, me and Shan, we don't know what you're talking about, right? Yourself, other. Yeah. It's mayonnaise an instrument? It is a sauce. Yes. Thank you, Joy V. Yes. Yeah. I'm happy. Schlotskis. That's how I'm supposed to say it? Schlotskis? Ah, thank you, Joe. Schlotskis. Schlotskis. Hey Google, what is Schlotskis?
According to Schlotzskis.com, Schlotzskis is a fast casual restaurant franchise that started in 1971 and is home to the original oven-baked sandwich.
Joy V was lying to me? Joy, Joy V had me believe that I was right about it being a sauce? And it was a restaurant? A fast food chain? I love you, Joy V. You are fantastically wonderful. Kind, kind. Kind, kind, kind. Kindness, kindness, kindness. Kindness. Oh, yeah, you're there. The internet doesn't lie to me. At least I have the search engines. Oh, goodness. Well, Schlotzky's is a sandwich shop and it's pronounced Schlotzky's. Thank you, Joel. Thank you so much. I know mayo is gross. I live in the Midwest. We use Miracle Whip. I try to, at least after learning about seed oils, minimize the amount of mayo I consume. I really like mayo. It was kind of a shame. I guess you can make healthy mayo with like something like olive oil or something, I guess. But olive oil mayo has a certain little tang to it. Creates an experience of its own. Food. Oh man. Please have mercy on me with the food. Why does it have to be so hard? Be kind? Fine. Eating good food, treating yourself well, eating healthy is really much harder than it needs to be. Damn it. Yes. Like really, it's a little bit absurd sometimes. Great minds. I never lie. You misread my comments, Silly Melty. I did. Is it a sauce? I am dyslexic, right? This is well. I don't know if it's well known, but I'm diagnosed dyslexic at least. I like swap B's and D's, and apparently it's and is's as well. It is a sauce. Is it a sauce? So close, and yet reading it incorrectly created the fractal we got to share. I was obviously just joking, Joey. I was sharing love with you nonetheless. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard, Sam. What? It's a, it's good on a grilled cheese in place of butter. Yeah, people do that. They they give it a layer of mayonnaise, and then the mayonnaise gets browned. Not. I'm just imagining someone buttering their sandwich on the outside and not toasting that either. Just having butter on their. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop. I needed that laugh. Love you. It's a poor people thing because butter is expensive. No, it's an egg thing. There's egg in the mayonnaise, so it creates like a caramelization on the crust of the bread, which is different to the crust that butter makes. At least that's the way that I understand it. Mayo is great in tuna sandwiches or potato and macaroni salad, even sandwiches. But some people use it in salad dressing. Use it as salad dressing. Yeah, isn't salad dressing just like watered down mayo? A little bit more tangy, watered down mayo, essentially. Am I blaspheming right now? I'm sorry. Some of my most positive behaviors have been the result of watching others, shall we say, less elegant behavior. Exactly, Nancy. Right? It's like a reflection. It's like learning. It's like pattern recognition, right? And this might sound judgmental, But again, it's just going to be pattern recognition. Where if you notice someone who is, let's go ridiculous, 400 pounds overweight, right? And you're walking next to them in the supermarket, the grocery store, and you see their cart filled with all kinds of things that you know you probably shouldn't be eating, then instead of judging them for what they're doing to themselves, it can be a way for you to be kind to yourself, right? Be kind enough to notice the patterns that you don't want to be repeating, because we are consciously evolving, right? It's gonna take all of us collectively. Hello, puppy. Yeah, I'm trying to think about the amount of human life years could potentially be lost due to how difficult it is for us to eat healthy food. And it is tripping me out a little bit. Like it's, I shouldn't think about it. Miracle Whip slash mayo has high fat content, so it browns the bread and adds a bit of tangy sweetness to the bread. This is true. I'm not being a kind of person. Talking about food will make a point to scale it down. I'm just always hungry. When the stream starts, it's brekkie time. It's okay, Duck Dad. It's just I don't know what to add. Right? I eat food purely because it's essential. If I didn't need to eat food, right? If I had no hunger, I would have the time of my life. I'm being a little bit honest. I enjoy eating food as much as the next person. In fact, I believe I enjoy eating food too much, right? So I would rather not need to eat than having to in the first place. And like food is fuel in my mind, and it's a big pain point in my life, right? I feel I have a pretty traumatic relationship with food, to be completely honest. So yeah, I guess maybe that is why you friends bring up food in these streams. Maybe it's something that I need to face as well. It's just not something that I know what to talk about, right? Other than trauma. Food is trauma to me in a big way as well. And I feel to a lot of people. A lot of people, right? That not only the trauma of like what food has done to us, right? To our minds, but also the self-doubt, the lack of trust we have of ourselves, right? That you can lack trust in yourself so much, and I do, that you don't even want to keep the foods in your house that you know aren't good for you. Because if you do, you're going to be eating them, right? So it like creates like a mental barrier to your own growth as well. Of like, who am I without my food addictions? And I'm thinking about it like stacking L's as well. Right, again, with this topic of kindness, it arose from me eating a bunch of sugar last night and then feeling like absolute trash the whole day. Still not feeling great right now, like lethargic, like I feel like my body is inflamed, in so many words. And instead of inflaming with my mind, I'm just being kind, being like, okay, we did this to ourselves. We're going to pay the price. It's okay. We can continue onward mindfully. We don't have to perpetuate or continue hurting ourselves going forward. And it is an active process. I'm trying to gain a level of, I guess, self-respect. And I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if I have it figured out at all, in fact. A healthy relationship with food. Right? That's what I'm seeing. It's like a little bright point in my mind towards which I should be heading. And I'm getting there. I am getting there. Day by day, as contributing to the larger fractal, right? Noticing that at least I'm not always in a bad relationship with food. That most of the days are beautifully loving and kind, towards one another. Mm-hmm. Dum, 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 dum. Okay. Fried beluga and peanut butter on rye. You're welcome. It sounds good. It sounds good as well. Nice. Melt, that is the truest thing that you've ever said that resonates. My wife and I have terrible issues with food. I would love to never have to worry about it again. Love you, Duck Dad. You're not alone. And I don't, not only do I believe you're not alone, but I don't even know if it's your fault, right? And again, this is me trying to be kind to both you and myself. Like, we grew up in a world where our understanding of food and our relationship with food was completely different to how we evolved to have to interact with food. And money. I was like thinking about money yesterday during my yoga, like planning on the things that I want to do, and that I could plan things like, oh yeah, these things can be done with X amount of capital. And I was like, yesy, normally I would have to do these things myself and no amount of capital. I could have all of the gold chips in the world. I still wouldn't be able to just get that thing right now, right? And that's where we are at this point in time. And with our money, we could just get infinite amounts of food, right? Or at least infinite to the vector of how much an individual can consume. It's it's concerning, and it is going to be, as I've shared with you friends, one of the biggest things that our generation is going to face. Having a healthy relationship with food. Like, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about how in the 60s women were taking meth, like meth capsules. Might have been like before the 60s. Just like little meth capsules because it would up their metabolism because they were on meth, and they would lose weight because their body was burning more energy. How ridiculous. Your mic is super low and I can barely hear you. I think I have like a mic booster, but it might not be working, Anna. Thank you for letting me know, friend. I'm streaming on YouTube as well. It might be better on that side. I've noticed most of the bad food choices I've made are when I've smoked too much weed. Two or three less puffs somehow curbs that impulse. It's good that you're noticing the pattern, Nancy. That is very good. On that note, I noticed that when I take cannabis oil, my propensity to consume more calories increases, which is also something that I'm noticing. It's probably again because of the dosage threshold. Food is hard. You can quit drinking or drugs, but you have to eat. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And now there is more to eat than there ever has been, right? And the things that there are to eat, there's more bad things for you to eat than there are healthy things to eat now. Literally, statistically, right? In reach. And the things that are bad for you taste exponentially better, and it's easier to eat those things. I feel like that's the thing that messes me the most, is how much easier it is for me to eat things that are bad for me than it is for me to eat the things that are good for me. And I feel like that makes me so angry. Right? I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I know what things I'm supposed to be eating, the things that are good for me, and I know which things are bad for me if I eat them. Then why is it so easy for me to eat the bad things and so hard for me to eat the good things? Right? Like, the logical part of my brain is like enraged by that. And then I have to pay attention to what I know about the human body and how I evolved to cope in this reality that my body was literally, built to try and survive this realm of existence. And for the longest time, there weren't enough resources. So if I had access to resources, like I found an apple tree somewhere, it would encourage me to continue pounding apple after apple after apple to the point where I couldn't pound anymore. And then it would try and store that excess energy as fat onto my body so I could utilize it later, right? When I didn't have access to an apple tree again. But now we have access to the apple tree always, right? The apple tree is your cell phone. That is a radical shift to how we see food, the dopamine that is associated with it. And Joyviv, you said it beautifully. We have to eat, right? We have to eat. Like there's no option, right? You can't be like opt out. Like yeah, no thank you. And there are people that claim to be breatharians. Uh, let's just say I'm skeptical. I'm a believer in science and matter, unfortunately, at least for this part of the experience, right? But yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to see. Yeah, that's how we start. Drugs, Melty. I want to send you some food that I've discovered through the years. I'm guessing. I feel like your whole perspective on things would be slightly shifted. The right food can awaken the inner spirit. Please do. Please share that information with me, Joe. Joe. Food is very much a spiritual experience when done with care. Exactly. Gluttony is unnecessary, but choosing the proper indulgences can be very rewarding. This I believe too. And I'm happy that you're using the word indulgence, right? Because that's the way I've been thinking of it. Instead of calling it cheat days, right? Again, from this willingness to be kind, I call it days of indulgence. Days of indulgence. I'm just indulging myself a little bit, right? And then I can get back to what I know I'm supposed to be doing. In the 1940s, my grandmother went to the doctor for anxiety. Her husband was fighting in the World War II on the Eastern Front. The doctor told her to pick up smoking cigarettes to calm her down. Nice. And you know what's the worst part? It probably did calm her down by stimulating her mind for that time period, right? And then it just, created a new customer for the smoking industry because the tobacco industry was facilitating by sponsoring doctors, right? Like, yeah, get us more customers. People come to you with anxiety, come to you with stressing about their husbands dying. Sell them cigarettes. I will make so much fucking money. I'm sorry. She quit in 1980. Still died of COPD 7 years ago. I don't know what COPD is, unfortunately, but I'm sorry to hear that, Dad. She's still here as you, after all. Shelly is here too, saying good morning, Melt. Good morning, friends and lovers. I'm blessed to share the space with you. Blessed to have you here with us as well, Shao. Thank you for joining us. The way you speak about food is part of the problem. There are no good and bad foods, just different kinds of energy sources. Even though I agree that what you say is true, right? The energy source that is a bag of chips will not serve, isn't as kind to my body as the energy source that would be whole grains, for example, right? And you're right about the whole bad versus good analogy. It causes a level of separation. But the way that I think of it is what does my body need? What is good for my body? And then it becomes uh, something has to be bad if some things are good. But you're right. I agree completely, Joyviv. Chronic obstructive compulsivity. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, I'm guessing. Thank you for letting me know, Joyviv. Amara gets a bag of weekend food from school, and while I'm grateful for the generosity, it frustrates me that all of it is considered junk and is or full of sugar. Exactly, right? And we can call it bad, or we can just call it like nutrientless calories. Because that is the thing, right? We need nutrients. We still need fibers. We still need, some substance to our food. Today, someone is coming over to help me get rid of some stuff that I've been looking at for at least 10 years but haven't touched once in that time. So, bye and love you all. Need to get ready. Love you, Nancy. Thank you for clearing your space, dear friend. Sending you love and strength. They're not sending her home with marshmallow puff cereal and spray cheese, are they? Purging is good for the soul, Nancy. It is. That sounds tasty, Doug. I'll stop myself at Costco from grabbing the massive bags they have. I really appreciate you, friend, spending some time with me through this topic. I feel kindness is one of the biggest things that we need if we're going to conquer our food, issues as well. One of the most important, in fact. Are you kind to yourself when it comes to food? Oh, are you kind to yourself when you weren't kind to yourself? Oh, ah! I just became a new person, Pippi. Let me see. Pudding, Pop Tarts, gummies, Chef Boyardee stuff, Sam. They'll throw an apple or an orange in there, but you won't eat that stuff. Of course not, because it's not as nice to eat, right? It's not as easy to eat as the rest of the stuff. Again, like the apple or the orange would be like the only thing that's good for us to eat, but it would be the hardest of those things to just pick up and actually choose to eat. Oh yeah, the grain industry and corn subsidies slop. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do. How dare you! How dare you sit on me and try and suck on my blood, you mosquito! You break my heart. Now I had to murder you. Your dead body is on my hand. Sorry. How can I be kind to a mosquito that lands on my hand and starts drilling its little face syringes into my flesh? I wish I could be, but I'm not strong enough. At least not yet. I have to figure out how to have force fields, right? Then I can see the mosquito land on my force field and then try and reach for my skin, but it wouldn't be able to reach. And then I'll be able to be kind to that one as well. I'll be like, you silly little mosquito. This one? Okay. Kindness and knowledge need to become the currency of the dream world. We're making it so, after all, Brother Corey, by showing up in the way that we are, right? By being kind to one another. Not to say I haven't been craving some canned ravioli like we're freaking crazy, alright? Who was it we had on here who said people just need to be slapped? I don't know. Probably erased the memory from my brain. Exactly. I know. That's crazy, Sham. There's no nutrients in that stuff. That's the thing, right? I know they mean well, but dang, I wish it was actually healthy and provided some nutrients. Just imagining them sending them home with whole baskets full of vegetables. Makes me happy to think about that, but that's so far from potentially happening. Green and purple? Let's see. Card's already pulled. Well, the core colors very much is green. You've been on a roll, Brother Corey. Very much green, and there is lines. And look at this thick line of purple. There's some purples in the horizon. Infinity Sumbers. Moons and suns. Card number 16. Number 16. Harmony and right action. Harmony and right action. Whew. This card joins two powerful traditions. From the Hindu Tantric tradition comes the geometry of the Sri Yantra. Its 9 interlocking triangles form a powerful meditation symbol that is said to encapsulate the entire universe in a single geometric visualization. I'm just noticing now that there's something underneath the plastic of this card. It was hidden in the palm leaves up until this very moment. Harmony and right action. Its 9 interlocking triangles form a powerful meditation symbol that is said to encapsulate the entire universe in a single geometric visualization. From the ancient Hanu tradition of Hawaii, Ho'oponopono is viewed as a means to bring harmony and be in right action with the ancestors, or to make things right with the people with whom you have relationships. Its intent is to correct the wrongs that have occurred in one's life, even for ourselves, right? Kindness. The card acknowledges your intent to create a life of freedom from guilt, shame, and blame, especially with our food choices. It asks you to meditate on the people and events in your life and to search for an understanding of what you need to know to bring them into harmony and right action. Seek harmony within yourself first and then open to communicate with others in a manner that will bring greater understanding and harmony to all. You may enjoy offering this sunset prayer. The sun is just about setting here as well, technically, right? I forgive myself and all beings for any misthought word or action that occurred in this day. I acknowledge that the universe is unlimited potential and all is transpiring in perfect divine order in my life at this time. Hot damn. What a synchronous card. Happy birthday? Come on. May I get a birthday card pull if you don't mind? Joe! Happy birthday to you! Of course you can, dear friend. We'll leave the card that we pulled out and we'll pull one for you, dude. Thanks, y'all. Happy birthday, Joel. Let's see. What's the birthday card for Joel? So, Sacred Geometry, can you give a beautiful birthday message to our dear friend, Joel? This one. Well. Ooh. 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 Yeah. The suspense. What card is it, Brother Joel? I wanna... Okay. This is the card we pulled for you, dude. Infinite wisdom. Infinite. There's your purple as well. Brother Corey. Happy birthday, Jolly Joel. Thank you, Jovan. Look at them mermaids. Look at them dolphins. Look at them whales and whale calves. Look at them waves. Look at that infinite wisdom. Whales are denizens of the deep, caretakers of oceanic wisdom, and record keepers for planet Earth. They communicate by means of songs, stories, and telepathy. Whales remember how to travel with grace of movement over thousands of miles, following ancient migration routes. The 4 horizontal figure 8s, or Mobius strips, suggest that there is greater wisdom than time and depth. It is infinite wisdom. Pulling this card could find you seeking a measure of wisdom to help you comprehend a situation. Something does not make sense, and you are having difficulty understanding why events are occurring as they are. Quiet your thoughts and allow your consciousness to float in this fluid blue ocean. Tune into the wisdom that the humpback mother and calf embody. You may want to trace an infinity symbol on your forehead or palm, or move your hands in a figure eight to help you connect with this infinite wisdom. Telepathically plug in to the records kept by these magnificent cetaceans. Ask this infinite source to offer you the wisdom you require to bring greater understanding to your thoughts. If your inquiry is if your inquiry is not one of confusion, this card confirms that you are indeed in touch with insight and good judgment, and you may be assured that your decisions will be sound. Celebrate your own wisdom. Celebrate your own wisdom. Brother Joel, thank you for being wise enough to ask for a card. For celebrating your own wisdom. Right? You celebrating. Celebrate. Celebrate your own wisdom. But much. I want you to celebrate it though. Just raise your arms. It is instinctual. Yeah! 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 Wow! Wow! So the only reason I do that is because my brain knows that blind people who have never seen a single person in their whole lives celebrate by raising their arms above their heads when they learn that they've won. Isn't that interesting? So you can do the reverse. Raising your arms in celebration. Wow! Wow! I celebrate Joel's existence. He has made another wow loop-de-loop around the earth. Thank you for choosing to spend a moment of your special day with us. Thank all of you friends for doing that. What religion is that? It's sacred geometry, not a religion, more a way of seeing the world, the fractals. So much love. That is very interesting, Melty. You like that? You like that? You like it? It's true. Try it. I try to do it if I'm feeling especially lazy or like I don't want to get out of bed. I raise my arms up and celebrate myself when I manage to. And then it gives me a little bit more energy to continue. Thank you, Lolo. I see you. Thank you for joining us. It is about time for us to bring the stream to an end. I thank you for joining me again, for finding yourself in this moment, and for choosing to be kind. All of you friends are so kind. Thank you for reminding me that love is true. Every day. I'm a cat. I'm in bed. Cat laying on arms. Suddenly, whoa! Cat goes flying into outer space. Joy Vive celebrated so hard. She now has astronaut cats. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's a little bit morbid. I'll raise him when I get up. Try and see what it's like. Love you, dear friend. Thank you for joining me again. Be kind to yourselves today. And by extension, see everything as yourself. And be kind to everything else. I love you. I'll see you again soon. One little cycle around tomorrow. Here in this moment. Shan, thank you. Having also so much love to you too. Thank you, Shan. Thank you, all of you. Even if I'm not saying your name directly. Thank you. Hear these yous. You, yes, you. I'm talking to you. Yeah. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Cheers, cheers.